Hey, what's going on, guys? Kitsune TCG here, back with another video, and today we're going to look at some OCG news. Obviously, we got the really exciting announcement last night about the long-awaited Volcanics support. Krakatawa! You know, it's been 3,008 days since the release of
Secrets of Eternity was...
And, Volcanics definitely needed it. Obviously, out of that set, they only got one card, so realistically, it had been about, 15 years or so since the archetype had gotten, any amount of, modern support to kind of make it a, better deck. And, first impressions, the cards don't exactly look like they are going to be meta-defining, but I don't think anybody really had the expectation of that kind of going into this. But what the cards do is really bring this deck to a more modern playstyle, and it just kind of makes it, really look like an all-around fun deck. It doesn't change the deck's playstyle. I'm just gonna go through and I'll read the cards real quick, but you'll notice that they definitely are very in tune with the original archetype. So definitely just looks like these are going to be a lot of fun, and definitely something I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy trying out. So looking at the first one, we do have the Volcanic Emperor. It's a level 8 Fire Pyro effect monster. Now it can't be normal summoned or sat, but it can be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyro monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field and or graveyard. You can only special summon Volcanic Emperor once per turn. Honestly, a pretty good summoning condition for it. Gonna be pretty easy to get out on the field. When this card is special summoned this way, you may inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each of your Pyro monsters currently banished. Then you can set one Volcanic trap directly from your deck, except Volcanic Eruption. Now, kind of a little funny situation here. So Volcanic Eruption is actually a card that came out in the TCG prior to the release of the Volcanic archetype. Has nothing to do with Volcanics. It's like a dinosaur card, so that is unfortunately going to be a TCG card that will have to be renamed, because it was not originally a Volcanic card in the OCG. So yeah, the only legal targets are going to be the Inferno and then Recharge. Yeah, and kind of says it all there, but yeah. A little bit of interesting thing, but that'll definitely be something that we'll probably see change in the next year or so. Volcanic Trooper, level 3 Pyro effect monster. Now you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Volcanic card from your deck to your hand, except Volcanic Trooper or Volcanic Eruption. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 Bomb token to your opponent's field. When this token is destroyed, its controller takes 500 damage. Honestly, this is pretty cool. You can actually really kind of disrupt your opponent's plays. Obviously it brings to mind something like, what is it, Kashtira. You would be making sure that they actually have a monster on field. Prevents evenly match, lightning storm, things like that. So kind of a fun little, trade of a discard for 1 to kind of, give your opponent something so that it can definitely kind of maybe disrupt a lot of going second plays, but don't know how much of that's going to matter too much. Volcanic Rimfire. It's a level 1 Pyro effect monster. Now, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. Banish this card from your graveyard, and if you do, send 1 Volcanic monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Volcanic Rimfire. Banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field or graveyard, and if you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator continuous spell or trap from your hand or deck face-up in your spell and trap zone. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. Again, kind of another one, just makes this deck a little bit more consistent. Really just kind of what a lot of these cards do is really just get you to, obviously, the cards that matter most in this deck. A Volcanic Blaze Accelerator is a continuous spell card. Activate this card by sending 1 Blaze Accelerator from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard. So pretty easy way to get that in the graveyard to be able to summon the Emperor. You can only control 1 Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 Volcanic monster from your hand. So honestly, this is pretty nice here, going to be able to go into some additional plays. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, send one level 1 Pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy that target. And then obviously this right here is really just kind of, what the deck is all about, so being able to do that pretty easily, if you're going second, is pretty nice. Fire Ejection, fun little thing having Burstinatrix on there. Now this one is, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, send one Pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard, then if it's a Volcanic monster, you can apply one of these effects. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its level times 100, and then special summon one bomb token to your opponent's field. When this token is destroyed, a controller takes 500 damage. So this is obviously going to be a little bit easier way of maybe going second, give them a token. Battle phase, evenly matched, they have to keep the token. Obviously, you're hoping that, they don't, have any spell trap negate or anything like that, but again, another kind of fun way that you can, kind of disrupt your opponent by just giving them a random token, so kind of a niche thing, but something that so far seems kind of interesting. But the amount of kind of burn, obviously, that, Volcanic was doing prior and now kind of definitely becomes, a little bit more relevant with a lot of these cards. Volcanic Inferno, it's a continuous trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can banish one Pyro monster from your graveyard, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Then if you banish a Volcanic monster, you can negate that activated effect. And during your opponent's end phase, you can target up to 2 of your Volcanic monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order. And again, pretty awesome effects here, so just being able to have a monster negate plus some recycling ability is really good for this deck, because you're just going to be able to kind of continuing cycling through all of your cards. And that is all we have right now revealed for any new cards. No clue whether or not we'll get anything else. I think we did skip a card, so we will definitely get at least one more spell or trap, and I think 18, 19. Yeah, so I think it just depends. I think we might get 1 to 2 more cards revealed for the archetype in here, and then, whether or not the next OCG set will kind of follow it up. Sometimes they do kind of get 1 more card or so, but we will just have to see. But yeah, overall, definitely a very fun and, kind of interesting update to a very niche, beloved archetype, and obviously, people like Pain will be quite happy that they are going to be able to, incorporate some new cards and definitely kind of, further bolster the strategy. Because, like I said, again, it's really awesome that, this didn't really take away from what the deck wanted to do prior. It just kind of just enhances it and makes it a more modern form. But yeah, let me know down below what y'all think, if you're excited for this. I definitely think a lot of people were hoping that this would be the case. Some people were obviously thinking that maybe they'd try and make a new archetype for, like Flame Swordsman, but yeah, we got Volcanic, so, definitely excited to see that, and I will see y'all next time.